Taylor, thank you. State Senate Majority Leader Republican Devin LeMahieu announcing today he will not run for re-election. This comes exactly 1 month after State Assembly Speaker Republican Robin Vos made the same declaration. The upcoming election marking the first time in 15 years Wisconsin will swap all three major positions in the state legislature. Both state Senate and Assembly leaders, as well as the governor. Of course, only the governor will be the one that we vote on in November. LeMahieu won a seat in the state Senate 12 years ago, was appointed to be Majority Leader 5 years ago. Before that, he served on the Sheboygan County Board for 9 years. He says it's time for a new chapter. He's looking forward to more time with his wife at their new home. In his farewell statement, LeMahieu thanking voters, staff, and his family, saying, quote, "Thank you to the people of Sheboygan, Manitowoc, Calumet, and Fond du Lac counties for the trust you've placed in me as your state senator, and to the countless colleagues and staff who have made this an unforgettable journey, and a special thank you to my mom for her tireless support, knocking on doors and walking in parades," end quote. LeMahieu's term ends on January 4th, 2027.